Bringing the meeting to order.
Does everyone have seats? You're out of order.
You're out of order.
Let me check my phone. Okay, so first off, I want to thank the hosts, Andy and Cynthia.
Think about, please.
Cynthia.
In the kitchen?
Maybe she went to the bathroom. She
Timing.
left us.
Timing. When she comes out, I'll clap. So I want to thank the host, recognize the guests. We do have a guest tonight. Vince is a new member.
Am I a guest as a new member?
You're a new member.
I paid the dues.
Forget it, man. He's a paid member. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your car.
Hi everyone, I'm Vince Valdez, and I guess I'll start at the beginning. I'm originally from New York City, lived in Washington, D.C. for over 30 years, was a member of the tmgcpres club for years, have owned probably, 4 Jaguars, 4 Land Rovers, 4 different MGs, a TR7, don't tell anybody, and have been a British car fan since I was a kid. My dad was a musician in New York City, a jazz musician, and people like Dizzy Gillespie and stuff would come to our house. And for some reason, all those musicians came in with British cars. So I'd head out and look at all the cars and just fell in love with British cars since I've been knee-high to a grasshopper, and it's a pleasure to be here with everyone. My wife and I have retired here. We were living in Pittsburgh, and her dad was in the Navy and retired here. And so we came down to care for her parents and decided, hey, we can retire down here. It's cheaper than retiring in D.C. And we have a place in Get Square.
But Vince has a problem. He doesn't have a garage. So I suggested to him, since he lives down, that we need to scope out some area over here that maybe has a old warehouse or old place, and rent or buy something. And it could be the clubhouse.
That's a good idea.
That's not a bad idea.
And besides that, if we get enough room, we could probably pay for it through rentals, storage.
Right.
All right, we'll look into this.
That's not like completely easy, or what are you talking about?
No. I'm sorry. Please go back to you.
No, it's a great idea.
No. I always do that. I butt in. You can ask my wife. I'm very sorry. Let's go back to jazz in New York City.
It's a great idea because right now I have the MG Midget that you see parked out front, and it's my only toy car. I have a 2018 Discovery Sport Land Rover and an old LR3 2008 that we used to bug out and go on our bicycle tours. But my wife has recently said her on her mother's side, they're from Austria, and her grandfather was a engineer for Mercedes-Benz, and now she's got this bug to buy an SLK 230, and we've only got one parking pad, so she says, well, maybe the midget has to go, and I'm like, I have to go.
Hey, Vince, I'm glad you're not real short.
Okay. Awesome. I may need a garage.
Well, welcome, Vince. We're glad to have you. And like I told you earlier, this is what we do every month. We get together at people's houses. Next month, we'll be up on the peninsula at PJ's in Faith's house. Yes, Bob? Our hostess. I know, we're getting there. Okay. So finish this up, and then we're going to thank our host for hosting us tonight. Yes.
Have the floor for a sec.
Sure.
Somebody overpaid me and I need to give them their change.
Me!
Might have been me.
Okay, so can I have a motion?
I'm just thinking for future transactions.
Let's keep this on track. Can I have a motion to approve the meeting from last month?
So moved.
Second. Okay. Motion is approved for June's minutes. Vice President's report. Vice President. Yeah, here. Come on, Rob.
Good job, Rob.
Next month's meeting is at Faith and PJ Peterson's house in Hampton on the 10th, which is a Saturday, right?
Saturday.
Kick the tires at 11, lunch at 11:30.
Army lunchtime, 11:30.
What date?
August 10th.
It's not March.
March 10th, yeah.
What's September? Do you remember what September is? I don't remember.
It's a month.
Yes.
After August.
Yes.
I
guys are
believe,
sharp, man.
I think it's at the pier with Eric.
Yeah, that's a good
Eric
one.
kind of sponsoring at the pier,
Okay.
if I recall.
Is it Eric's house or the
No,
should be a pier?
It's at the pier, but Eric's kind of,
All right.
That same day is the National Corvette Restorer Society National Meet is being held in Hampton at the coast. Yeah, that weekend, 9th and 10th.
It'll be close.
Yeah. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
All right, thank you, esteemed VP. Activities report. Bruce is here. Bruce. There's Bruce.
Hey, I want to thank Rob for the way he's set up all the meetings this year. He's done a great job. As VP, setting up all these monthly meetings. Thank you. The other thing is, I think I've detected from Vince a cry for help. He's got all these cars, no garage, nowhere to put them. We've got the clubhouse idea. I'm visualizing like a 10-foot mahogany bar with brass rails, lined up taps on it.
And everybody has an engraved.
And we can collect rent from him every month. For activities, first I need to apologize because I wasn't at the last month's meeting. I got clutch issues, and Rob had offered me a ride if I could meet him up in wherever it was, New Kent, whatever. So I got in the car, I figured I could make it that far, and I got on the road and I got up just about as far as Route 199 to go around Williamsburg, and decided it was a bad idea. I've got no more clutch, so I was able to get back home, but I missed all the fun. And my apologies for not being there.
Burnouts, that'll drill a clutch.
And he missed the opportunity to ride in my bug eye.
Yeah, really.
All the way to Ashton, to Beaver Dam.
And back.
Yeah. And he, instead of accepting my offer, he went home.
Anyway, so the other thing, and I know nobody noticed this because nobody reads dipstick. But what was in the dipstick this time was the same as the month previous to this. That's my other apology. Because when I sent the file to Jim to put in the dipstick, there were two files that had the word June in them, and I picked the wrong one. So.
It's okay, we didn't
Of course, there's lots of amazing things in there for this. One thing, if any of you had planned to go to that Upper Shirley Vineyards Drive that was going to be June 22nd, they postponed that. Somebody said their 50-some-year-old car and their 73-year-old body couldn't make the heat. So they postponed it to September 28th. If you want to mark your calendar for that, that'll be that drive up to Shirley Vineyards, up Route 5, I think, right? Yeah. So September 28th. And this has probably already been done, but I want to recognize that some of our members taken part in 2 or more shows this year. And again, announced it at the Williamsburg British Car Show. Mike August, Eric Fee, and Scott Camp all got awards there. So, and I know this club is always it seems like we're always picking up awards because there's a lot of good cars in this club. So I think we can be really proud of that. Not of mine,
put everybody out. Something else, okay, July 15 to 19, I think in the dipstick it says there's the North American MGA Register get-together. In Oregon, if you're planning on going.
DJ might get.
Yeah, DJ will show up.
He's got that.
But if you're not, then the 21st of July just is National MGA Day. So be ready for that, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a very climate accommodating date.
Well,
It's
September
in Oregon.
21, there's gonna be a gathering and rally in North Carolina. So I'll have some more information on that coming out later, but that's 21st of September. It's the Autumn in the Mountains British and European Automobile Gathering and Drive, in case someone's interested. It's September 21.
North Carolina.
Doesn't say.
Foothills.
It won't matter, it won't matter. And then, the rest of it, we talked about the meetings that are coming up, 11 o'clock a.m., or 1100 hours, as PJ would say, for the next meeting. Now, the last thing, this fall, you're gonna have an opportunity for you to all line up and put your hat in the ring for activities director.
Wow.
I know there's several people that got lots of fresh ideas and they want to jump on this.
I volunteer, Mike.
I'm just here to tell you, you better get on it quick if you want to get in on it, because there's a lot of interest. So, let Rob know if you're interested. You'll be president, maybe president.
We have a volunteer?
No, but I have another activity just for people to know. On August 26th, we have an indoor show in Hampton. It's going to be for the Antique Automobile Club of America, but it's going to be an indoor show at the convention center, the Hampton Roads Convention Center. And they're taking input, cars can be entered up until July 15th, I believe. And it's free to come in if you just want to go and look. So that's something to keep in mind.
What date did you say?
That's all, it should be August, I think it's August 26th.
Yeah, and I was gonna add to that, I know we have several people that are members of the AACA, and they have really nice cars, and I think that they should put them in the show. And if anybody needs help with registering their car or figuring out how to go about doing it, I'm sure Bob could help, Jim could help, I could help.
I already have one in.
Hey Bob, yeah, make sure we get the information over to Bruce so we can get it on the website.
Sure.
Track that, everybody. Anything else for activities? Thank you so much, Bruce, for your leadership, and it's gonna be, we're all gonna be sad that you're not doing this next year. Treasury report. So we don't have Mark. Mark's on vacation this week, so he wanted me to pass along that we have $1,670 in our bank after depositing about $190 in cash from renewals in name tag order. And Mark does have name tags for Tim. I saw Tim earlier in the patent nods. So is I'm saying that right? Patent nods? Patent nudes? Are they here tonight? I think I know them. And then Andy, Mark mailed you a check for tonight.
And I deposited it today.
All right. So you
And now I have money for the week. Thank goodness.
And that's where we're at in the treasury. Dipstick. Jim?
By the 20th, all your input, whatever you write, you can be famous for.
What do you think?
I'll see you to the website.
Yeah.
All right, membership report. So Mike's on vacation too, so I'm gonna carry this load. So dues are due. So if you don't know, we renew the memberships every June. So make sure you go online. It's very easy to via PayPal. Pay your dues. If you can't pay your dues and you just don't want to go online, come see me and we can find a way to take care of it.
And yes, you can't afford
There's a
it.
fee involved,
Of course.
but we'll figure out a way. We have about 97, 98 members in the club, maybe 99 with Vince.
100.
And 100.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. What? Roosevelt, can you afford this? Roosevelt, oh my God. In case you don't know, Roosevelt's been here forever.
Long time member. So now we have 100 people, maybe, something like that. And 41 or 2 have paid. So please get in there and pay your dues. This will make us liquid for the next year.
How do you know? And right now you can pay online.
Yeah.
How do I know if I paid?
We'll get a receipt in the email. You go to PayPal, the website, membership.
Make sure.
I'll pay twice, it's easier.
And one thing, you only pay for your family. So if it's you and your wife as members, you just pay $20 for your family, right? So you don't have to pay $20 for your husband and your spouse, and it's just one fee of $20.
Oh, you don't have to pay per car?
No car. No. Don't do that, no. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Maybe we'll look at changing the bylaws.
That's right, Andy can pay 100.
Yeah. Tactical reports. Terry, I think it's over to you.
I'm over in the corner. Yeah, first of all, I'd like to again express my gratitude to those that came out to help with the engine pull and the subsequent installation of the other engine. As it was dictated into the dipstick there, the following tour was fantastic, 500 miles plus, and never missed a beat. We had a great time with it, didn't lose a drop of oil, didn't lose a drop of water. We got home just fine, and the car's ready to go again. So thanks again to the A-team, as I called it, that came out and helped out with that engine work. And we did a lot of checking at that time. It really turned out nice. I think everybody learned something. And the subject of some of that learning is going to be another article that I'll send off to Jim. And I'm going to call it good shop practices. These are some things that you can kind of do to help keep yourself organized if you're embarking on such a tremendous project as pulling an engine or putting one back in. And there's some things that you need to do ahead of time to get ready, and some things that you need to pay attention to while you're working, just so you don't lose anything. And I'm real proud of the fact that the only pieces that we had left over were pieces that fell on the floor and rolled away. We haven't found them yet, but I'm sure we will. Maybe by the November session. So, we'll see you there.
And as an addendum, it always helps to have people who've done this more recently than 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it isn't. It's the only way the engine got back in, because we hadn't done that since 2006.
It's called working smart.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and you did have the A-team there. I showed up, I'm like the D-team, so I learned a lot while I was there. So it was new, it was good for me to experience that firsthand. Old business, do we have any old business to pass? Nothing, okay, all right. New business, anybody out there with any new business they wanna?
Not sure if this works as new business, but following on back at Terry, I wasn't able to make that. I had other commitments that weekend, but I do have the transmission, clutch, and all the parts and tools I need to pull the engine on my B and replace the transmission. And I do want to get that scheduled up here in the next couple of months as it maybe gets a little cooler. I do have an air conditioner in the garage, but as I was telling Terry, it needs to be cleaned out.
Yeah.
But just keep in mind, I'd like to do that again this fall. Pull an engine, replace the transmission, swap mount, and clutch, and all of the ancillaries that go with it. New carburetors are ready to go, and yeah, love some help doing
You live
that.
in Suffolk, right?
I do, in Suffolk.
So yeah, so once we have the information, once you decide on what time frame you want to do it, just let me know and we can get the word out to the club.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, John?
Scott, just as a potential safety reminder, I found the hard way that, if you've got roll tires going around the Shenandoah Mountains Blue Ridge, they may not hold up pretty well with all the turns and everything else. So anyway, we did about a 5-day tour through there, and sure enough, 2 flats, and ended up having the last one was in Chesapeake, so got US AAA to tow the car over to Abacus, and they put 5 new tires on there to replace the spare, which was actually a 1996 Avon. So hey, I should have figured that one out a lot earlier. But anyway, so if you've got something that's close to 10 years, from the production date of your tire, you might consider getting another one, or else have AAA or your tire wrench at the ready. So.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Want some water?
That's all right. If you have a tube in your tire, you have an old tire, are you all right? Come on.
No, shouldn't we?
No, we don't have new tires.
No. This is a serious question.
Yeah, I get you, because I had that question too.
The DC has tubes.
Are the tires okay if you've got a tube in?
Yeah.
A new tube. Are old tires okay with new tubes?
Supposedly, the lifespan of today's tire is 7 years to 10 years max.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bias ply tends to hold up longer.
Excuse me?
Bias ply tends to hold up longer because it doesn't have the side flex. And of course, a lot of cars with bias ply spend more time indoors.
And the exposure to the sun will create the cracking and causes tires. Now, our 31, Frank and I have 31 Chevrolets that have, and mine is 35-year-old bias ply tires, but it's never been kept outside. And they are no cracking. Bob Parrish had that car and it was in his garage for 30 years. So those tires, I don't feel comfortable driving at 50 miles an hour regardless of whether they're new tires or not. But so far, they've been proven to be safe.
If you don't see any cracking, is there any, I mean, I've got old tires, but the treads are like brand new.
It's not the treads that's the issue. It's between the treads and the sidewalks.
One other comment on that, the restoration tires are nowhere near the quality of real new tires. And I used to run restoration Michelin X tires on my 190 SL until I threw a couple of treads off it and said, okay, they don't last, and they weren't cracked on the outside or anything else. It just a little bit of age, and I buy good real tires. Not try and stay away from the restoration unless you need it for show. If you need it for show, you need to have it. But if you're going to drive it, get a good driving, good speed rated radial tire.
And that's another reason to change them, because I noticed a huge difference when I put new tires on Stanley. With the cornering and through the mountains, the old ones were hard as rocks.
We did a 69 Camaro and had the reproduction bias plies, the wide tread Firestones that were prohibitively expensive, ridiculously expensive, but they were for show. But I couldn't drive the car. It would wander and hunt, and it just was not a comfortable car to drive. Threw a set of radials on, mini lights, and it was another car. All of a sudden, I could put it in the corners and enjoy it.
Right, it's stuck.
It's unbelievable. Anyway.
Something I just discovered when I got new tires. I've got an A, so I've got 15-inch tires. You can't put 15-inch tubes on those cars. You have to get a 15-inch. It's 14 on the inside, 15 on the outside. It's a very special tube that you can order anywhere. But no one had ever told me that in 40 years. I thought you just put an FR on there for 15-inch tire, but you can't. It's got to be a dual-sized tire, because what happens is the inside wears, and that's when it gets flat.
Any other?
This is an opportunity if anyone has the idea of purchasing an MG. Ace Auto, which is across from Tidewater Community College,
has I believe it's 1978 that's been sitting there, you've seen it, it's been sitting there for a long time. Steve, who is I think he's like half owner there, I was talking with him, and the car is running, it looks good, I didn't go over it with a fine-tooth comb, but I did not see any rust. He said, just get someone to make an offer and get this off my lot. And this is an opportunity, you know, if someone wants a car that, you could, I bet if you came in there and offered them $500, you could probably get it for $1,000. And it's just if anyone's interested, it's there.
$1,000 to start.
No, he's not looking, he just
Not
wants.
talking about, like, once you get it, then you gotta fix it up.
Well, I'm not, from what I can see, it really doesn't look like it's in bad shape.
What about getting one as a club car, getting it restored, get it running and sell it?
It looks pretty good. It's certainly not.
It's not that good.
I think we have clubhouse.
Okay, Frank is seated, you can ask him about it.
Where is
I
it?
wasn't impressed with it.
Okay, well, for $500 or $1,000 or whatever, you know, just if someone wants to walk around the car. Yeah, it's at Ace Auto, which is on Princess Anne Road, right across from Tidewater Community College.
Okay, this includes a commercial announcement.
Yeah, Virginia Beach, I'm sorry.
We get back to me.
I know.
I mean, it's
Got
got issues.
Of course it does, but, you know, we're gonna get a car for that amount of money.
We're almost there.
I'm just throwing it out there, he asked me to do it. Okay.
Okay, any other new business?
Are you in new business or in mark time? Which we doing?
I think we're almost in mark time. Mark time, go.
Okay. There's some magazines there if anybody wants them. The MGA magazine and 2 editions of Enjoying MG from the MG Owners Club. The other thing is Jennifer and I are moving from the Eastern Shore. We're selling our house over there and all the contents of the garage will go with it. We've already I have already disposed about 50 years of accumulation of MG parts. A friend of mine came down from Northern Virginia and took a whole pickup truckload and I've sent a lot to the dump. So we're downsizing. We're moving to Virginia Beach, to Atlantic Shores Retirement Community. I've got room, I hope, for 2 MGs there and there's a 2-car garage.
Are you getting one of those standalones?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I hope we have room for two MGs in a 2-car garage plus the regular car. But the MGA is going to go. I have to get rid of that. So anyway, that's our news. We'll be a little closer to the club, I guess, and maybe participate in a few more events.
That's excellent news. Any other mark time?
I don't know if it's mark time, but anybody who's got side curtains knows that
That's a nice looking one.
these panels go bad. They get starburst in them and then they just kind of like fall apart. I found a place that will make these out of scratch-proof Lexan for $25 a piece.
Whoa!
Really? And they will custom make them. In other words, you take them, your old one, they will put the glass in and then ask you if you're satisfied with it. These I weren't. They were sticking and stuff. So he took them out and hand filed them down, put them in. The other thing too is I didn't know how to restore these things, and Celia told me just get some stuff called Mothers, and you can get it at Walmart. And as you can see, this stuff used to look rusted, and now it's shiny and like new.
Can you leave that in my garage?
So anybody that's got side curtains, this is really a great deal, because the only way to get these things fixed is to pay Moss $700 to buy a whole new set.
What is the Mothers? Is it a rubbing compound?
It is.
It's a metal polish.
Yeah, it's a metal polish. But it does great jobs. I mean, I never thought these things would shine.
It's mag wheel and Mother's aluminum polish.
Advanced Auto Works.
Rag and water, that's it.
That looks great.
But, these things are just, I mean, it's phenomenal. And he said they will never, ever, they even custom made the little tabs on there.
Are they old?
Huh? Yes, and I meant to bring the guy's card, I will get it to,
If you email, take a picture and email. it to
right,
us.
but it's, everybody knows where Cromwell Road is? Okay. If you're going down Princess Anne Road, turn onto Cromwell. And when-
Norfolk.
Yeah, and when you get to the railroad tracks, you cross the railroad tracks heading towards Norview, and the railroad tracks kind of like go like that, but the first building on your right, that's this Lexon place.
Where the old tree used to be.
Possibly.
It's maybe. We'll make sure we get the information out to the club regarding the address of this facility. So,
It's an issue.
hey Fred, just make sure you get the address information over to Jim, and we'll get it posted on the
But,
website.
yeah, this is just a really great fund.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
You just can't find anybody to replace them, and now that what's-his-face is out of business, what was that guy's name? Clark Spares. He was the only one that, his stuff was rough. He would sell it to you, and then you had to shave it, and this guy will do everything for you.
That's good. Any other mark time, comments? Items? Nothing? Regalia, I think, yeah, are you doing that, Fred?
So, I guess.
Rob?
So, I'd like to thank Fred
Okay.
for selling tickets. Rose and Don aren't here. Obviously, they're out of town, I believe.
Yeah, so Rose and Don's doing better. They're out of town on vacation. We should see them both back in the fold next month. So he's doing better. He's out. He's visiting family.
So, but Rose did supply me with fabulous prizes. So,
do we have first in line?
too late for that. So this is not what it appears to be. This is the mystery box. This is the grand prize right here. And here we have a handkerchief with British flags on it.
Quiet now.
Handkerchief, yeah.
Oh, scarf handkerchief.
That's Scott.
And a
Wrong clothes.
electronic calculator. And a MG logo T-register goodie bag. And then of course 50-50. So we'll start out. If someone wants to assist Fred and pull a ticket,
Vince, the new member.
read the last three digits on the ticket. Last three digits. Yep.
Okay, pick one. Okay, all right. All right. 980.
That's a late buyer.
That's me.
Happy to be So what does Terry win? What do you want, Terry?
So
Pick something, Terry.
you got the mystery box,
So you gotta help me out.
the T-register gadgets, an electronic calculator, or a British flag scarf slash.
What are the T-register gadgets?
Send me, I've got
A
the.
little light, a tire gauge, a pin, a bottle opener, a keychain.
Oh, the bottle opener. Yeah, cool. I'll take it.
That's always good for drivers.
Phil, you keep passing that?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
All right.
Where's this going? The next one is 968.
Also fairly late in the game.
968. Anybody? Anybody?
Keep looking at the numbers.
Maybe somebody
Nobody?
Wait.
968.
What?
968.
Going once, going twice.
Somebody got a hat.
Come on, no.
Someone is getting it.
No 968, huh?
Andy, you got tickets in there?
Yes,
No?
yes.
You have tickets?
No, I don't have tickets.
No
You don't
tickets.
have any tickets.
I couldn't afford them.
Yeah.
You got a check.
What we should have done is.
Shame him. Go ahead, shame him.
You know, I'm a poor guy in a wheelchair. And, you know, life is hard. I mean, ask my son. You know, I'd taken to Barcelona with me. You know, just so he could push me around. Yeah.
The next is 938.
9-3.
That would be me.
Who's it?
That would be me.
So, calculator.
No.
Yeah, he needs a cat.
Mystery box.
I'll take the mystery box.
Mystery box.
Uh-oh. The mystery box.
I just want you to know I'm American.
No, it's nothing like that.
All right.
That's gonna be an MG mug.
I don't even know how to open it.
MG mug.
What's mystery?
I think it slides to the top and just slides out.
That's
Okay, here we go.
There you
You
go.
must be fine at Christmas.
It's a box.
One more.
It says glass.
Ah,
Be careful.
Here we go.
you carry a knife, don't you?
I might
Give me your hand.
All right.
Bubble wrap.
Whoa, just what I needed.
Beer mug, there you go.
I was gonna quit drinking, but now.
Absolutely not. Excellent.
There you go.
All right, next number.
Not now.
We got Fred.
Next number.
Yeah.
What's the one?
This is gonna change my life.
I think you've got the next number.
Okay. No, I don't.
966.
Nine. No, mine's with 3 numbers. No, I don't have 966.
You had 968, right?
Yeah. No, I had 938.
Okay. 966.
Same person had 6.
Somebody's
Somebody's missing out.
Come on.
yeah, somebody's missing out.
Nobody's in the kitchen, nobody's in the bathroom.
We did lose a couple. Now I have Tim Likes numbers, so
Are you looking at it? Okay.
it's not
Check
968.
the bathroom.
Terry, pick one. Okay. 953. Right there?
Ah,
So close.
Somebody admits.
So close.
It's a MG crying towel.
Crying down.
You all know. Leave it to Bill. You give it to Bill.
Wave down your next tow truck.
Let's see it.
Hold it up.
There you go.
What are we up to now?
We got the electronic calculator.
946.
Somebody pretty early.
946.
946?
the lucky owner of the electronic calculator.
Here you go, boss.
Oh, you love the devil.
Next thing we need is the
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
And then the last draw for
Use it well.
How much money did you collect for it?
You really want.
It is his, it's in his pocket.
Check all your pockets.
It's 50. 56,023.
$23.
Wait a second.
That's not half.
This is 28. 28.
Everyone make a guess.
Bring out your calculator.
And that's what it was going.
58 bucks? $29.
All right, Tommy.
Okay, for the money, 940.
Somebody right after me.
940.
There you go.
Can anybody break a 5? No, just put it back in the treasury.
Thank you.
Who's taking the money since the treasurer's not here?
I will.
I'll take the money.
President. Give us your advice. You got advice.
Okay, so that concludes the meeting. Any last comments?
This is jam.
Last words.
Good job, Scott.
All right, motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Move, second. All right, meeting is adjourned.
Get my dues. Get my dues.